I was looking for a way to film top-down videos like this angle right here, and I found this mount on Amazon. As I could tilt it up or at whatever angle I want to and lock it in place. And it's right over my desk, just perfect. It swivels this way up and fits different kind of devices. So let me show you a little bit of what this thing will do. Okay, I have mounted this mount on the desk, and I'm using it looking directly at me right now. But if I want to take face down videos, I can just loosen the bracket, tilt this right down toward the desk. I've got it right there. Tighten it up, and I'm good to go. Now this can see everything I'm doing right here. I am fixing to make a mounting bracket. This is a piece of PVC, and it's a coupler, a nipple. You can join two pieces of PVC together. What I'm going to do, this end will go on the piece of PVC pipe I've got. This bolt I'm going to put in there with resin where the bolt sticks out about that far, and this will be used to secure this mount that I'm currently using for these top-down videos. When I want to take that mount loose, I can take it in the house and it'll mount from my ceiling hanging down on a piece of PVC pipe, so I can do these videos in the house also, because the desk inside is not wood, so I have nothing to mount this bracket to, but I'm making a mount for inside the house, and I'll show you that in just a moment. Let me get the phone off. This piece of PVC pipe has this on the bottom, and that will actually mount up at the ceiling like this. And I'll have some screw holes up there where I can screw it to the ceiling, and that piece of pipe will just hang down. And the pipe's not going to be this long. It'll be cut off right about where the top of that desk is, and it'll hang right about, let's see, give me just a moment. Right about where my hand is where it's going to be cut off. And the phone will be hanging right there, pointing down at my desk inside the house. And then when I'm done, I can just take the piece of pipe and unscrew it and leave that bracket up there. So that's going to be for inside the house. This will be less than, I don't know, probably less than 10 bucks in total materials cost. So instead of buying something that was specifically made for that, I could just use the one I'm making. All right, let's get busy doing this stuff. I'll be right back. Okay, got my automatic resin mixer. Let's get it set up. I have to fill one end of this with hot glue temporarily, so that I can put resin in the other end, and it's only going to fill up half of this coupler with resin. There's probably an easier way to do it rather than using hot glue, but for the life of me, I can't think of what that would be right now, unless I found a solid piece of metal that would fit in there, like so. Hey, you know, I might even be able to do that. That's a good idea. I could put a nut on that, and I wouldn't let it go anywhere. That's a good idea. I'm going to do that. I'll be right back. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I've got this bolt, this washer, and this nut. I'm going to lay these on here. Tighten them down with some pliers. Give me just a minute. So now what I've made is this, and it's just going to sit right in there. I will get that as centered as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'll put a little hot glue down in there first, and then smash that down into it so it seals. Then I'll pour resin around the outside of that. And first I have to scratch up the inside surface of the PVC coupling to give it something to hold on to. Pour resin in there, and then let that sit overnight and dry. When I'm done, that's what you'll have, with just about that much of that thing sticking out. What that will enable me to do is to use those threads to secure it to the bracket that's currently holding the phone taking this video. And I'll be able to go inside and take top-down videos inside the house, as well as in my shop like I'm currently doing. I'll show you the end result of this when it's finished, but hold on just a minute. Let me get the resin mixing, and we'll get this thing going. Okay, let me see real quick. This will not take a whole lot of resin, so you can use those tiny cups. Sorry for the loud noise, all the noise. I use this one to mix and pour out of. Yeah, all right. Make sure this is out of the way so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay. This won't take a whole lot of resin at all to fill that little half of that PVC adapter up. Now I'm going to try and get the same amount of the other, the A and the B. They're in equal part. You just mix them equal amounts. Ooh, that should be just about the same, I think, ish. Let me compare these two to see if they're the same amounts. They are close enough, so now I will combine them. Now we're going to do some mixing. Just want to mix this thoroughly. Normally when you're stirring resin, you should stir slowly for, 5 minutes. If you don't want to introduce air bubbles, that's why you would stir slow. In this particular case, I don't have to worry about air bubbles, so I can stir as rapidly as I want to. I am not done stirring just yet. I forgot to get the hot glue gun going, so I'm going to do that real quick. Give me just a moment. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Got the hot glue gun warming up. Now I'll finish stirring this resin. It's probably mixed well enough already, but I get it mixing a little more. Once you get this resin mixed, you have 15-20 minutes to work with it. I usually try to prepare the project before I start mixing resin. This time I did not. Only because I've worked with this so much, I got a pretty good handle on how much time I have before it starts setting up. All right. Now I'm going to take my Dremel and rough up the inside of this piece of PVC so the resin has something to really grab a hold of. You can do this with sandpaper or Dremel, whatever you want. Yours truly is going to use some sandpaper. All right, set this out of the way. Just going to take some sandpaper. All I'm going to do is just rough up the insides. I can feel that I've roughed it up in there. What you can also do, I'll do that as a matter of fact, give me just a moment. Just take a screwdriver and just scratch in there. You can do this with a knife. And all you're doing is you're giving the resin something to grip. All right. And you probably can't see the scuffs in there. I don't know, maybe you can. That'll give that resin something to hold on to. So I'll take some hot glue and I'm just going to put it right around this like this. All there is to it, right? Now I'll take this and just smush it down in there and get it centered as best I can. Now the other end I can take some and put it back in there to make sure it seals real good. hot glue on this side, it'll peel right out of here. All right, so you can see the hot glue down in there. That'll keep the resin from leaking out of this side. Because resin, one thing about it, wherever it can flow, it's definitely going to. All right, so now what I'll do is I'll just fill this side up with resin. And see how that bolt is still sticking out of there that much? That's what's going to screw into the bracket that's holding the phone currently taking this video. And I'll show you how it's all going to hook up. And I've got a washer and a lock washer that'll go on top of here, and it'll secure it tightly to the bracket. So I have a homemade system for top-down videos that I paid barely nothing for. You can find these systems to take these kind of videos for anywhere from $40 for a plastic one that, you know, it'll work. It ain't the best solution in the world, but it will work. You can find them for that much, and you can spend up to several $100s on them. If I don't have to do that, I don't. And if you want to, you can take some tape or whatever you want to use and put over this. Painter's tape would work really well for that, but hot glue dries pretty fast, so just set that right there. Take this resin, let me make sure this is dry enough, I do believe. Shouldn't leak. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put down some painter's tape on this desk just in case, because if the resin does leak, I will be in a bad situation. So let me do that real quick. Be right back. I also have some vinyl matting I could put down, like almost like something like a placemat for the dinner table that resin will not stick to, but resin doesn't stick to this stuff either. And this tape won't stick to the desk very badly. So this is a very good precaution to take. If resin does spill, then you don't have to worry about it getting on this desk. Make that a little bit wider. Yay. That'll work still. Set that right there. And if by chance resin does leak out, it's such a little bit of resin, it's not going to spread out that far. So now I'm taking the resin that I've already mixed, and I'm just very gently, very slowly going to pour that in there until it fills all the way to the top. Yeah, that didn't take much resin at all. All right, that's enough. Yeah, set that right there. Now that's, as you can see, that's full all the way to the top. I'll let that sit for, I don't know, maybe an hour. Once it sits for an hour, I'll dig the hot glue out of the other side, and we're good to go. In case you're wondering what I'm doing with the lighter, that heat pops air bubbles that rise to the top. I really don't even have to worry about that because there's no reason to worry about air bubbles in this piece that I'm doing right now. But if I was casting something in resin to make for someone or for myself that I didn't want bubbles in, the lighter's how you do it. I also have just a air gun that blows out heat without using a flame. That also works. You can use a straw and blow on it. I don't like to do that because I don't want to incorporate moisture. It works so well to get bubbles out. All right, I'll come back in a little while when that's dry and show you the end result and how I'm going to do this inside the house and show you what it looks like in the house when I'm ready to use it. Be back in a little bit. All right, this is how the holder mounts. And that's the little bracket from the shop that my phone fits in. This can it just spreads apart. My phone snaps right in there. And let me show you what it looks like when it's in there. All right, the phone is in there now. I have one of those little ring lights that I can use if I need more light in here. I don't think I would, but I can adjust the angle. And then I'm going to sit down, and that's pretty much what you see there. Whatever I'm working on here, you would have a good view of it. And it's to make top-down videos. I have probably less than $10 to $12 in this thing completely, and it works perfectly. All right, let me get my phone out. That's it. And then when I'm done, I can just take this thing down, just unscrew it. Realistically, I would probably end up buying another one of those brackets so I can leave one in the shop and the other one in here. But that's it. Just sits in the corner until I need it. And it was cheap. It works perfect. No problem.